German investigators announced last week that they have dismantled KidFlix, a major platform on the dark web that distributed child sexual abuse images to almost 2 million users worldwide. 38 countries, including Australia, Canada, and the U.S., supported the investigation. According to Guido Wimmer, deputy head of the Bavarian Criminal Police, shutting down KidFlix was, quote, one of the biggest blows against child pornography in recent years, if not ever, unquote. This comes after Germany's Legal Affairs Committee lowered the minimum sentence for child pornography offenses in 2024. There's concerning new data out of Germany as well. More than 100,000 abortions were performed in the Western European country in 2024. Its Federal Statistical Office reported 106,000 abortions last year, a 0.2% increase compared to 2023. That number is still above the level it was from 2014 to 2020, when reported abortion cases were between 99,000 and 101,000. Abortion is punishable by fines or even prison time in Germany, but permitted in the first 12 weeks of pregnancy if a mother undergoes state-sanctioned counseling. The country also has exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. In recent years, Germany's government has loosened restrictions by completely removing abortion from its penal code. The Catholic Church in Germany explicitly opposes this removal and has called for the abortion paragraph to be reinstated. Joining me now to discuss this data is AC Wimmer, EWTN News Editor of Europe and Asia. Thank you so much, AC, for joining us. What role has the church played in the defense of life in Germany? We know the church has had its own controversies in the country.
It certainly has. And part of the controversy is the response, both in terms of supporting people who are trying to get help and seek help through Catholic channels, but also seek approval to get abortion. And how do you partially square that with what really is, at the end of the day, a very troubling development on the one hand, and then on the other hand, of course, a firm and clear stance with Catholic teaching still being taught and promulgated in a way to people who are trying to find out what it is about life that begins at conception and aren't told elsewhere.
And as we reported in Germany, abortion is still regulated under the criminal code, with some exceptions where it is considered illegal but not punishable, such as within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy after mandatory counseling. Is it possible that might change soon?
That's exactly right. Under discussion, the new government is just forming, is a so-called decriminalization of abortion. It's been pushed for by the hard left and left-wing politicians for a long time. And with the involvement of the Social Democratic Party, the Labour Party, we might see more push in that direction. The Christian Democrat Party, though, the one that's going to be running the government, are against it.
And in 2022, the ban on sharing information about abortion was lifted by the German parliament. Is that a factor in this report about the number of abortions in the country?
Yes, absolutely. Experts are in agreement that things have been changing subtly. There seems to be a bit of a salami slice tactic, if you pardon the expression, pushing towards the sort of legalization by all means, and that could be part of the story.
Now, shifting a little bit, the takedown of the child porn network in Germany comes after German lawmakers voted to decriminalize possessing child pornography last year. How should we view these mixed signals?
Look, there's a lot on debate, and the outrage, the public outrage, is enormous. We're talking about a massive takedown, a huge network with international reach, millions of users worldwide. The depravity and the criminal activism that you're seeing is something that has outraged people in the church as well. But at the same time, as you said, there is this legal, again, salami slice stuff going on that people are concerned with.
And AC, what can the global church be doing to support Catholics in Germany?
Everything starting with prayer to communicating with German Catholics, reaching out online or in person. It's really important. And speaking from personal experience, it's always refreshing as a Catholic from a German-speaking background to go elsewhere and see how normal it is just to be Catholic and stand up for life and other issues.
That's great. And finally, before we close, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, just one thing I think that a lot of our audience will probably know, but when you speak to normal Catholics in Germany, they share the sentiment and the concerns, and it is often not communicated publicly, but it's there in the parishes, in the families, in the communities. Pray for them.
And we'll certainly do that. AC, thank you so much for being here with us and sharing your perspective.